Hey, what's going on, everybody? Chris here from Test the Speed Shop. And today we're out here working on the Pontiac. So, one of my biggest kind of complaints on this thing is that the shifter throw is very long. It's a factory Hurst Competition Plus, but it's the factory. It's a factory installed shifter, and the shifts are real. There's a lot of throw between like first and second, especially second and third. I mean, you got to really reach for it. So I was looking around on the interweb, and guys were talking about how they'll take these and they'll cut them and move them down a 1/2 inch and re-weld them. And these are actually factory ones off actually out of a Competition Plus, an aftermarket one. So these are hardened, so they're better to work with. But I did find something online, and one of the guys that was talking about it in the Pontiac forum, he actually had an ad on YouTube, and on eBay, and he actually makes them shorter, shorter levers. So I'm trying to find my utility knife, and I can't find it. I'm going to cut them open and show you what the difference is. Because I had those ones out because what I was going to do is I was actually going to cut, see if I could cut them down and use those. But I heard that can be kind of difficult. So let me cut this open so you can see what's going on here. So these are the levers that he makes. He has a run of them. He gives you all three. Now the reverse ones I'm probably not going to change, but this is what you're looking at with the change in how much difference there is in them. And I'm sure it's probably about the same. I'm working on getting one of the original ones out. I'm going to take them out one at a time and compare them. Now these don't have the bends in them, so I don't know if I'm going to have any shifter linkage issues or not. I'm only going to use 2 of these because, like I said, the reverse, I have all the back drive and everything set up on this, so that locks the column and reverse lights and all that. And it's a big long rod, and the whole lever is completely different than what he has sitting here. So we're going to see if we can just make it work with the 2. But what he is saying is that this is going to change your throw by 25%. So 25% is better than no percent. So we'll see what it does. I'm kind of in the process of working on it right now. It's actually cool enough to come outside and do something. So we're going to see how all this kind of works together and how it seems like it's going to fit, or if it's going to work, or if I'm going to have to. I don't really want to bend the linkage if I don't have to. At least as long as it's just minor stuff, because I really don't want it to put it back on. It'd be nice to have the shorter throws on the shifter. That'd be fantastic. And they look like these are pretty good quality. Now I don't know if these are hardened or not. I know somebody had said that they made them and they weren't hardened, and these very well may not be. So they might actually wear a little bit, but he gives you bushings with them to use. So, you know, if they're not hardened, you know, I guess it kind of is what it is. I guess they'll just wear out, so eventually. But as much as the car gets driven, it's probably not anything that's going to be too concerning, as long as we can, you know, run a bushing in it. So let me get one of these original levers off, and we'll compare it to what I got sitting here, and we'll go from there. And we'll see if I can get one of these things on here and see what they're going to look like and how they're going to work and stuff like that. I'll probably have to readjust the shifter, I'm sure, which is no big deal. And I don't care about reverse. I mean, how often do you power shift reverse? My whole thing is just going to be nice, just cutting, you know, taking an inch out of the damn throw would just be fantastic. Now, and these work with He's got these listed. These are for, obviously, for the 69 and up transmissions with the bolt-in levers. And he also, I think, he had them on there for the older style with the nuts, with the stud and the nut. So this would probably be a good upgrade if you got a Z28 or a anything with a factory Hurst shifter in it, probably. Olds, GTO, probably be an incredible improvement in a GTO. Honestly, I don't know about second gen cars. I mean, you could probably snoop around because they use a Borg Warner transmission, unless it's an older one that's got a Muncie. I don't know if this would work or if they change the arms on those because they're different setup, but they still use the factory Hurst Competition Plus shifter. So a lot of the big differences is in the factory shifter versus the over-the-counter one is that a lot of guys, they say they naturally have a shorter gate to them, plus they have the stop bolts so you don't overthrow or put stress on the synchros. So, and I'm not too worried about that. This isn't a drag car by any means, but if I want to get spirited with it, I'd like to be able to have it a little bit closer than trying to stretch out so far on the shifts. And it'd just be nicer to drive, because like I said, going from second to third's kind of a pain because it's just such a long throw on it. You know, even through all of them, it's just a long throw. So, alright, well, let me get this thing off of here and we'll throw it up on the bench and I'll bring you back and we'll compare and I'll see how things fit. Well, hey, I'm back. So I got the old one off, and that's what they look like. And you can see it's actually, old one's actually shorter than the Competition Plus one I got there. Now, it was for a kit for an A body, but I don't know if there's any difference between an A body and an F body. Who knows? But you can see how far down, you know, when you drill the hole, and where you're going to be at, comparing the two. And they're saying it's supposed to give you a shorter shift, so I don't know. I guess we'll see. So I'll go ahead and put that on and get that rod done and see how that's going to work and see what our alignment's going to be like, because I'll check that all after we're done here. I'll get these on and then I'll throw the alignment tool in and check the alignment on the shifter to make sure everything's lined up okay. So, but that's what we got going on here. Nice little upgrade if it works out okay. I mean, obviously you might have to make some modifications, but we'll see. Let's see what we run into and figure it out from there. So, alright, well, let me put this one on and then I'll pull the other one off and we'll see what that looks like. So, but it is kind of strange that this one's actually longer. You know, the Competition Plus one out of an actual aftermarket shifter kit is longer. I don't know. I mean, theoretically, I guess you could drill that, but you're right on that curve. That'd probably make it kind of tough. Plus, like I said, those are hardened, so I mean, you'd have to have a freaking really tough drill bit, and you'd have to have a drill press. There's just no way you could do that by hand efficiently, anyways. Unless you want to sit out here for hours. Or you could heat it up and get all the hardening out of it. So, alright. Well, let me get back to it here and we'll see how we make out here. Well, got the other lever off and it's exactly the same as the one I just showed you. So, that's cool because they don't have the bends in them. You know, maybe that's on an A-body type deal, but these are both flat. So that's going to work out pretty good. So we'll go ahead and we'll get this other one put in, and then I'll check the adjustment. I'll take you down under the car and you can see the greasy mess that is the Firebird underneath, because it self undercoats. It's nice when you have a car that self undercoats and you don't have to worry about doing it. So let me get back to it here and get this thing in. It's pretty straightforward. It's like any other Hurst shifter. You got those goofy freaking spring clips you got to pry off and put back on. And you have to use these bushings because the holes are a little bit larger, which is nice. I mean, that works out pretty good. And the rods are on there tight, the spring clips are tight. So I'm hoping there won't be any issues with all this stuff. So let's get this put on, and I'll get it together, and I'll drag you down under the car, and I'll show you what we got going on. Alright, bring you back in a minute. Alright, well, I'm back. So let me bring Ender here, see what's going on. I did have to adjust the shifter, which I kind of figured I would. So I don't know what you guys can see. There's our shorter shift arms. And I don't have any binding or anything. I ran it through the gears. And it is definitely a shorter shift. Ignore that most annoying noise in the world. There we go. But it is quite a shorter shift. We're in neutral right now. There's first. There's second. There's third. There's fourth. It feels like everything's going in okay. There's third. There's a little bit of give in the shifter, probably because it's just old. That's to be expected. But yeah, it's going in. And it seems like it's much quicker or shorter. I don't have to reach quite as far for third, which is kind of nice, because going from second to third, I was like up here. And you could feel that it's much, much closer. So next video, I guess I'll take it for a test drive. It's after 6. I want to clean up and go inside, and I'll finish this up tomorrow, and we'll finish up the video then. Now reverse is still a long throw, but that kind of is what it is with that whole deal. So, but I think it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. We'll take it for a ride and we'll see how everything works out. Hopefully everything will go good. We won't have any issues with it, and I'll report back. But it, like I said, it does feel like a much shorter throw. Even if it's 25%, it's much better than it was before, because it was pretty long. So, but yep, let me get stuff cleaned up, and then I'll bring you guys back tomorrow. We'll take it for a test drive, and we'll see how it all works out. See you tomorrow. So what's happening, everybody? Got the linkage all done, and Now I want to take you guys for a little run around the block here. So the sun's not out today, so it's not 400 degrees outside, and I can drive around with one window up. So, but it's just going to be a quick run. So, but seems to be running pretty good. I actually have driven it since I put the shifter stuff in, and it's working pretty well. It's working pretty good, actually. I'm pretty happy with it, and seems to be working pretty decent. Somebody is asking for some engine porn, so here we go, Austin. Saw you, Kong. She's cold. We get it warmed up a little bit. Power steering's been working real good. We got it lined up. I took it down and had the guy line it up for me. So that seems to be working pretty decent. Pretty happy with that. That all seems to be working good. And we put tailpipes on it. So now it has tailpipes. Sounds better once it gets warmed up. You can kind of see them up there. Just 2-inch pipe. Ended up buying a whole used exhaust system off of Facebook Marketplace for, it was off of Camaro for like $100, $150. So we all we used were the tailpipes off of it, and we used some other pipes to adapt everything in, but it all worked out real well. We just welded it all up. Did have glass packs on it. That's what's laying on the mess on the floor there. That's where they come from. These freaking glass packs down here. And I wasn't going to put them back on. So, alright. Well, let me get you set up in the camera here on the window, and we'll go for a little quick blast around the block, and you guys can see how maybe get an idea how short the shifts are on it and how much of an improvement it is. Like I said, it's pretty nice. It might be worthwhile for a factory shifter car, you know, like a 442 or Grand Sport GTO. You know, I know 69 Camaros use her shifters from the factory. You know, like I said, I don't know if this would work on a second gen, if they have that much throw with the factory her shifters on second gen cars. That I can't tell you, but I can only tell you on first gens. And I guess it would probably work on like an A body too. Although you might have to make some adjustments because your arms might have a little kick out and bend in them. So, but let me get you set up here, and we'll go for a quick blast around the block, and you guys can check it out. All right, here we go. Sun's not out, but boy, it's really thick out here. Hopefully it'll be a little quieter in the car since we got tailpipes. In the last couple of driving videos, I still had the axle pumps on the car, so I hope you can hear me because my camera's no cheapo. third gate is much better. Big time improvement in that. Even the first to second, third to fourth, it's all way better. They're saying 25%. And it's probably about an inch and a half shorter maybe. Turn around down here. We're just going for a quick run. It's like 4:30 and traffic's just horrendous. So. Just turn around here. This month I've had this car. It certainly has come a long way. It was right around now when I bought it, 4 years ago. Should give you an idea of what the shifts are like when you put them in. Alright, well, I think I'm going to end the video here. So that's the shifter upgrade. I'll put a link in the description for the eBay ad that's on there. And you guys can check it out if you're interested in doing this swap. It was pretty easy on this thing. Like I said, there may be modifications on different cars. You might have to bend the rods a little bit. I don't know. I didn't have to do that. So, you know, much worthwhile, really worthwhile upgrade for sure. Now, it doesn't change reverse. Reverse is still pretty deep, but it changes all your forward gates. So, but who's going to power shift in the reverse? So, all right, that should be it. I'll see you guys next time.